Everybody, I'm out here for a walk and look for some cedar trees. Coming down this slimy steep trail. Kind of fun, but get down here and looky there. Oh, food. Not quite as ripe as it could be, but oh yeah, definitely bitter. But good. I see some berries. So I got a couple projects in mind, and it requires a cedar, which there's lots of cedar standing. I don't want to, this is a park, I don't want to cut any trees down or harm any trees doing this, but I think last year when I was out here hiking, I discovered they had cut down a whole bunch. So we're going to head over there and see if I can't get what I need. Outside of that, just nice spring walk. I'd say summer, you know, it is summer solstice, but sure don't look like it at the moment. I haven't done any maintenance on these trails, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna keep on going. Well, you can see the trails haven't quite dried out yet. I mean, heck, it's the middle of June. We're still walking through mud. Oh, this is a nice spot. Oh well. Oh yeah. Try not to get too wet, too muddy. It's supposed to be clearing up and be a nice day. So that'll be good. Especially now that my shoes are all wet and muddy. Well, one spot I was thinking of finding some cedar. Actually, looks like they went and hauled the logs out. Probably cut them up for firewood. So that's no good. So I'm gonna head on down to another spot where they actually stack all their debris and stuff like that and see if I can't find something that I'm looking for. I was kind of hoping for a big log because I want kind of a thick cedar bark for making a basket. Cedar is really handy for many things. Cordage. I wanted to make a fishing line, and cedar works pretty good for that. Worst case scenario is I strip a branch and do it that way, but you know, I could use blackberry, I could use grass, just about anything that's got any kind of stem value. Even these berry bushes are pretty resilient, and you can make a fishing line out of them. Oh, that's pretty nice over there, the old man's beard. Going nuts on that tree. This is a nice trail outside of the muddy sections. And that's a good morning for a walk. Well, I'm here at their dump site. I can see one pretty good sized cedar branch. I'm gonna strip that for some cordage. Just about every campground will have a spot like this where they take all their debris from the campgrounds when they clear up and dump it. So you never know what you find. Pieces of tables, just about everything. They just pile it up. I want to go back here and have a look. Looks like the trail looks okay. Doesn't go very far this way though. Lots of deer tracks, slugs. Yeah, you can see down there. It's about as far as it goes there. Yeah, It's too bad you can't drive down here. People would come down here and collect all the firewood. But, you know, authorized vehicles only. You know, I can understand that. And there are a few people out here hiking the loop today, which is good to see. The campground doesn't have a lot in it, so it's kind of nice. I think there's a pretty good pile of campers leaving today. So hopefully some come back in so the campground's not totally empty. But I don't care if it is. It's quiet and enjoyable. Alright, let's see if I can't get in there to get that cedar. Then garbage. Concrete in here. Looks like somebody's had a fire. But what I'm looking for is this. And that looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and just start peeling strips off of here, collect them up. Looks like there's another limb there I can work on too. And see if I can get enough to do a project with. Now that branch wouldn't work. Looks like they beat the bark up a little too much with the tractor, so when I tried peeling it, there was just a bunch of really bad spots on the bark that kind of made it not able to get into a decent strip, because that's what I need, a strip of the inner Cambrian layer. So I'm gonna keep moving on. If I don't find any, oh well, at least I have a nice walk. Maybe next time I'm up in the forest, I can harvest some the old-fashioned way, which would be nice. It's a lot better to use green bark for the processing aspect of it. Peels away from the tree a lot easier. You have to let it dry before you can use it, but which seems kind of redundant because you let it dry and then you soak it in water to reuse it. But the first time it dries, it shrinks a lot, and you want to get that out of the way. That way, when you're building a basket or you're making cordage, you don't have the shrinkage. Cedar's nice because it's resilient, and even the bark has a nice grain to it. Like I said, you could use other things, even these ferns. You strip these down, braid them into a line, attach them to fish hooks, which are easy to make. I have some hooks I've already made. Well, I will be busting those out and showing you guys the basic kit that there is for that. Oh wow, this is all new. Looks like some overflow asphalt. Concrete. Looks like they just pushed a bunch of junk out of the way. Oh, is that a cedar tree? I'll go down here and have a look. As you can see, I'm just right behind Sea Loop here. Oh, too bad. It's old, rotten. Old and rotten. But it is cedar. It's just too old for what I want to do. That's too bad. Well, moving along. Sure how well the camera is going to pick this up. There are a ton of tadpoles in here. Hopefully the camera gets them. I don't see that in mud puddles too often. But yeah, we've had a wet season. Here's milkweed. Now this, you can dry this and make cordage out of it also. It's quite strong. And, you know, it's a natural pain reliever also. The milk from it. You ever broken a milkweed, you'd know. You break it off and it just kind of bleeds a milky-like substance. And even thistle. And you can see the thistle, it has a nice strong fiber to it. Once dried, it's a lot stronger than that, but it goes in strips. You can braid that into a good piece of cordage also. None of the plant cordage like that, like the milkweed and the thistle, will last long. If you really want a long-lasting cordage, you want to use like roots from trees. Dig up some cedar roots. Find the small stuff. You can twist it. You know, you can tie it around something once you've twisted it. And it holds pretty good for a pretty good length of time. And here's some cedar root right here that's exposed. But yeah, stuff like that size is strong, very strong. So it works really good as a cordage for tying or lashing. Oh, it's beautiful out. The sun's starting to peek through the clouds. Which pretty soon I'll have to lose the hat. Probably the flannel too. I'm supposed to get in the mid 70s today. We'll see. It hit about that yesterday. Wasn't supposed to get that warm yesterday, but it did. And of course, you know, nighttime comes, clouds up, can't see the stars. I know the planets are almost in alignment right now, but hey, we can't see it. It's always clouded up. And blackberries, they work pretty good for cordage also. Or you can weave with them. That's another option for grasses, plants, is weaving. You can make small little baskets to hold stuff. It's, you know, there's so much material out here. You don't have to have the best of the best to be out in the woods and enjoy it. You just got to think of the small projects. You know, it's nice to have like a fish trap or something like that. Easy to make out of small limbs. I mean, when you're out in the wilderness, fishing is a good thing to be prepared for, or to know how to prepare for. A gorge hook is very easy to make. The cordage, you can make cordage out of most anything out here. Personally, I like thread or string. You know, you can get that from your clothing, at least for the first couple feet from the gorge hook. After that, tie it to a stick, doesn't matter. But yeah, the gorge hooks are best made from bone. If you look around in the woods, you'll always find, you know, a bone of some sort. Outside of that, a good hardwood like oak, ash, hickory, whatever you got around you for hardwood. If you look around me, I don't have anything good for hardwood. But a green branch is less likely to break when making these hooks. Oh, it is nice out. I'll quit boring you with the chatter. I'm almost back to camp. Is this the trail I want? I think this is. There's so many trails out here the deer make. Oh, slippery too. Yeah, these come up behind some of the campsites. And like I said, back here, you cedar roots everywhere. Like I said, I'm not gonna damage anything. You know, this is a park, so don't really want to hurt anything. But yeah, nice little woodland. Normally what you do is you cut a line across here and up a little bit, then you pull and you peel. Huge sections you can peel off trees. And as long as you don't do a whole lot on one tree, it doesn't really harm it. It does make it ugly. All right. Well, I'm gonna get back to camp. Then I'll bust out my fishing kit. Alright, this is my little bag. It's got my fishing kit in it. Get her open here. Alright, well, I have some cordage that I made. This is actually made from a very small yarn. Very strong. Weaved it on a loose set loom. And as you can see, it's quite lengthy for the size. This is a lead line, which is what I'd tie to the hooks. This is made from thread, also weaved on the loose set loom. Makes it super strong. Easy to do. Alright, the leather bag, and of course the hooks. I'll just dump them out here. And I'll show you here. This is a small bone, you can't see it with my hand, but small bone trout hook, and a bunch of different sized hooks. There's another small trout hook, on up to larger size for salmon and such like that. These are all hardwoods except for the bones. And you can make these with a rock, a knife, it doesn't matter. I'll show you how to rig one up. See if I can adjust the camera correctly here. Now I'm showing this one with a larger hook. But what I do is come in here to inside the threads, kind of pull them apart using the hook. If I can get it to go through like this, and what you do is you slide it over to that notch. If I can get it to pull enough. Probably should use a smaller hook. Let's do that now that we got a hole. Let's just go with one of the bone hooks. Alright, and pull it tight. Now how to use one of these is pretty simple. You go like this, and you slide your bait up the line to hold the hook like this. And what happens is when the fish grabs it, it goes out and basically snags the fish inside. And then you can pull them up. They do work. They didn't always have steel and fancy materials to make fish hooks. These are very simple to make. The big ones, you could just tie a knot around it, good to go. The little ones, the bone, those are the good ones. Bone doesn't break near as easy as wood. But yeah, when you're out in the woods, you can make the cordage out of anything. And it doesn't have to be pretty. It's just got to function. You just got to catch fish, right? But this is a simple trick to it. Like I said, you can use thread from your clothing, strips of clothing, doesn't matter. Shoelaces, doesn't matter. Whatever you got. So it makes a good fishing kit. And you can make this anytime on the run. This one I have for demonstration purposes. But if I was out there and I wanted to go fishing, I had nothing, I'd have no problem making my own hooks, my own cordage, and going fishing, catch fish. I mean, there's many ways to catch fish. This is just one of them. And as far as the pole goes, any stick will work. I would suggest using a green stick, as a dry one has a tendency to snap if you catch something too big for it. So a nice green stick, boom, bring them in. Gotta love fishing.